What's up, it's AB Trades here. We're going to be going over our daily watch list video. If you don't know who I am AB Trades and I teach people how to day trade options, and I do daily and weekly stocks to watch out for videos. In today's video, we're going to start discussing the top stocks for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Tuesday, and today we saw a lot of consolidation with a lot of back and forth swinging. We got a lot of upside, we got a lot of downside, but in the long run of today, it was more of a day of consolidation. So what should we expect tomorrow on SPY? Well, SPY actually consolidated around this previous point of support that we have seen in the past. We can see that because this is the middle ground in between where we were fighting back in 2018 and then where we saw some resistance and support here in 2019 at 275 on SPY. So we actually saw that here, but we closed below this $275 price point. So what is going to be our next thing to watch out for? We're going to be watching the retest 270. We're going to be watching for that retest of 270 on the way down. Hopefully, maybe retest is 275 or 277.5, but by the end of the week or within the next few days, we're looking to hit that 270 area on SPY. All right, now let's go into talking about the top stocks that people wanted to cover, starting with the FANG stocks. If you don't know what FANG is, it's spelled F-A-A-N-G, which stands for Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. All right, starting here with Facebook. As you can see here, we had this huge drop after we went below 175. I was saying, hey guys, watch out for that 175 zone. Huge drop. Huge drop. Again, if you can see here, we were right under this 175 area, and we kind of dropped down. We formed what is known as like a rising wedge pattern here, and then we just broke out even further, breaking through multiple support zones in one day. That is huge and definitely some room for profit on puts. I think I saw puts go up around like 1,500% or something like that. It was crazy. So basically our outlook on Facebook is to see a bit of a pullback up here to around 170 or 165, just to show, hey, yes, we did, but we're going to validate this, right? Because you can't drop this far and not have a bit of a pullback. But again, if we can't hold 160, then we'll drop further. Next one being Amazon here. We also had that huge collapse as well. And then, as I was saying in the past, 1700 was going to come in and act as our support. So we kind of passed through 1700, and then we kind of caught it as support. So we'll be watching to see what 1700 does tomorrow. Apple as well, if you can see here, we didn't have as much as a sell-off. It looks more like what SPY did, but we're now pushing into this range of consolidation here that we had at the beginning of 2018. If you can see here, in between 175 and 170 area, we have this area of congestion here that hopefully will act as support on Apple. But again, it really just depends. Our line in the sand here is going to be 170. We're looking for 170 to hold on Apple. Looking at our next stock, Netflix here, we're kind of finally broken below 342, which is what I was looking for. We broke below 342, and our next support is going to come in here at around 325. So watch out for that. Watch out for that further fall on Netflix following all the other stocks. Last but not least, we're going to talk about Google because that's the ending of it. FANG, F-A-A-N-G. If you can see here, we have this huge drop as well, pushing into this huge zone. Let's look here on the 1 minute just to see a further breakdown. You can see here, we kind of just sold off first thing in the morning after this huge gap down, and then we kind of leveled out. But what we're going to be looking at on the upcoming days is to see a bit of a consolidation, because look at this huge gap. Gaps will eventually fill. 9 times out of 10 gaps do fill. So we'll be looking for that to happen. Maybe not, you know, in a few days, but eventually start to build some support here, because that's where we've had support in the past, and then eventually make our way back up. So looking at the group chat, let's see what people want us to cover. Looks like I covered everything so far except the Qs. Looking here, the Qs here, we had that huge sell-off. SPY was a little weaker, but now we have where this previous support was at around 170, 169. So we'll be watching 169, 170 area to hold us support. I really see a tiny bit of a bounce before we head back up, but for now, that's what we're seeing. IWM as well, which is the same thing as the QQQs, and a SPY, but for the Russell 2000. If you can see here, we had that nice sell-off on the way down, and now we're trying to push back up to around 148. So we'll be looking to see what happens as the market holds all together. Looking at the next stock requested is INTC. We're starting to build some support here, as mentioned, between 43 and 44. So we'll be seeing if we can hold this area as support and maybe see a nice push up or break down to the downside. This is going to be just like when Facebook was trading in between 180 and 185. We're trading between 43 and 44, and we're waiting to see if it breaks out to the upside or the downside. QCOM here is going to be our Qualcomm. We're kind of moving down, finding some support at 66. We're trying to break up higher, but not. So we'll be using this low as our determination if we're going to break lower. If we break below 64.71, then we'll be looking to target lower. Let's see here. Another stock requested is BABA. The person who requested BABA also requested TGT, which the options liquidity is not the best on, so I'm not going to cover that. Breaking down through 160 here, we have this support here at around 150, the whole dollar support that we've had in the past here, that we're starting to find some support, some dojis. So we'll basically be setting 148 as our low, and if we go below 148, then we'll be looking for short. But if we can hold this 148, then we'll be looking to target 160 on BABA. Let's see. It looks like one of the only other stocks I didn't mention is Disney and Tesla. So looking here at Disney, we kind of got that breakdown. We're looking, for that consolidation here. We're consolidating with the same lows, coming in lower, but we're gonna see what's gonna happen because volume is constricting, volume's coming lower, and when volume constricts, something has to happen, right? We have to see that after effect. So really, the after effect, we're looking to short below 130 or hopefully go long above 138 for that next move higher. So I think the last stock we're gonna cover is Tesla. Tesla's breaking lower. After we tried to build some support here and get up, we finally broke down. So we'll be looking at 170 and 160, those whole dollar price points, and maybe even go back another year or two just to give us a good frame of reference here. If you can see here, it looks like the lowest that we set in here is where the lows are currently. You can see here that we had the stock hit 1, 2, 3 in this 178 area, which is where it's currently at. So our next support looks like it's 142, which is a far drop. So basically, Tesla has room to fall. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. See y'all tomorrow.